Welcome everybody to Sunday Morning Gentle. Everybody in the studio is on their backs. That's where you're gonna go. I'm gonna try to fix this here so we can get it a little bit brighter. You all can see. There we go. Take your first few moments here and just bring your focus to your breath. Let your breath take over. Push all your distractions to the background. So eventually be just fully focused on your mat, your practice, fully present to your mat, your practice. Your breath take over, let it guide you, ground you to your mat. So focus on the breath. Allow yourself this next minute or so just to arrive. You're on your mat with your breath. Once you feel like you've got that full focus on your breath, all the way here, right? Then you can start to add that element of control to your breath. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Allow your breaths to become longer, slower, deeper. So as you inhale, you're pulling that breath all the way down into your belly. As you exhale, you're pushing it all the way out. We can start to move here just with one breath, one movement. Now, when we're ready to start moving here, right, we're just going to start with a couple of TBEs. That's total body extension. So you're going to take your arms overhead, extend your legs all the way long. Really reach your fingertips towards the back of the room, point your toes like the other tip of a pencil, open everything up. And then as you inhale here, you're gonna take your knees, hug them in to your chest. If you want to here, you can lift your head and shoulders up off the mat, drive your forehead towards your knees, maybe let your tailbone lift. Engage that core by curling into a tight little ball. If you want to keep it all relaxed and let everything stay down on the ground, just loosely hug those knees in, that's fine too. We're gonna do that a couple more times, right? So as you inhale, you open everything up. Exhale, hug it all in. Do that one more time here. Open it up, legs go long, arms go overhead, and then hug those knees back into your chest. Now from here, take your arms out to a T. Palms face down, and as you exhale, drop your knees to the right, take your chin and your gaze to the left. Inhale, bring your knees back to center, and then as you exhale, drop your knees to the left, look to the right. inhale, bring your knees back to center. Now from here, you're gonna come and open back up here. Take your legs long, reach your arms up overhead. This time, you're gonna walk both feet over to the right. Maybe you hook your left ankle over your right heel, and then walk your hands over to the right. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, pull to the right. So you're making this little banana shape here, opening up that whole left side body. You want your left shoulder to stay down. For the most part, you want that left hip to stay down. Right, so you're not rolling to your right side, you're just curving to the right. There we go. All right, now we're gonna walk it all back to center, and then we're gonna go the other way. So your feet are gonna come over to the left. Maybe your right foot lifts up and hooks over your left ankle. Walk your hands over to the left. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. So you're pulling that arm back behind your head. You're keeping that right shoulder down. Keep your right hip down. Just curve to the left. All right, now bring everything back in here. Hug your knees into your chest again. Right, this time you're gonna take your hands to the crease of your knees. We're gonna rock up to seated. We're gonna land ourselves here in a bound angle. So you've got the soles of your feet together, right? And your knees falling out to the sides. As you inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Turn your palms towards the front of the room. As you exhale, you're gonna take a little fold here, and maybe your hands come in front of your feet. Maybe they're on your feet. Bring your chest as far forward as you can without rounding it out. Maybe that means you're sitting straight up. That's okay. Right. And then from there, right, reach your hands forward, bring your knees together, roll yourself all the way back down to your back. All right. So that's our little opening flow. We're going to do it a couple more times. Now that you guys have seen it once through, we're going to move a little faster. We're going to move it with our breath. All right. So you're extended long here. As you inhale, take your knees, hug them into your chest. As you exhale, open back up. Do that twice more. Hug it in. Open it up. Hug it in. Now this time, as you hug your knees in, you're going to let your arms go out to that T position. Drop your knees to the right. Look to the left. Pull your knees back to center. Drop them to the left. Look to the right. Bring them back to center here, and then extend long again. Extend your legs all the way long. Take your arms overhead, and let's take those banana stretches. Walk your feet and your hands to the right. Grab that left wrist to the right hand. Pull it over. Maybe lift that left heel up. Hook it over the right ankle. And then bring it back to center. Go the other way. Walk your feet and your hands over to the left. Maybe your right heel hooks over the left ankle. Grab that right wrist, the left hand, pull over. And then bring it all back to center here. Hug your knees into your chest again. Bring your hands to the crease of your knees. Rock it up into a bound ankle. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Palms towards the front of the room. Take that fold. And then slowly bring it back up. Take your arms overhead. Plant your feet to the ground. Roll it all the way back down to your back. Let's do that one more time through. Right? And extend your legs long, arms overhead. Take those 3 TVs. Hug everything in. Extend everything long. Hug it all in. Extend it long. One more time, we hug in. This time, you're letting your arms go out to a T. Drop your knees to the right. Look to the left. Bring your knees back to center. Drop your knees to the left, look to the right. Bring your knees back to center here. Extend it all long again, and then take those 2 banana stretches. First we curve everything to the right, grabbing the left wrist, hooking that left ankle, or left heel over the right ankle. Bring it all back to center, go the other way. Hook it all to the left, grab the right wrist, right heel over the left ankle. Bring it all back to center, hug those knees in, take your hands to the crease of your knees, rock it up to your bound ankle position, sweep your hands up to the sky, and take that fold. From there we walk it back up, bring your feet to the ground, take your arms long, lay it all the way down one more time. All right? This time, as you lay down, take one more full body stretch, right? Reaching your fingertips, pointing your toes. And then from here, you're gonna hug your knees into your chest. Just let your knees go to one side or the other, and then take that opposite hand, push yourself up, bring it around into tabletop. So tabletop is hands and knees pose. You're gonna get your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Take a couple cat-cows here. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop. That's cow. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow out your armpits. That's cat. So just keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So you can be going faster or slower than me as you do these. You're going faster or slower than anybody else here. What we're trying to do here is really start to match our own breath to our own movement, our own movement to our own breath, right? So find the rhythm of your breath, then match your movements to it. All right, eventually we're going to meet back in neutral tabletop. Now this time as you come to neutral tabletop, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come into your first down dog of the morning. Pushing your belly back towards your upper thighs, letting your head drop between your shoulder blades. You can add some movement here if you want to. Then one knee, then the other. Walking the dog. Press that opposite heel towards the ground. Get a nice stretch in your calf. Maybe you want to sway your hips from side to side. Maybe you just want to stay still. Whatever feels good to you. Just take the time, check in with your body. Notice what's going on. Make sure you're doing what your body needs as we go through the rest of practice. All right, from here we're going to bend the knees. Look between your thumbs. Bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. Now your belly's touching your upper thighs, your head's hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Now, we're going to go through our sun salutation here. It's a little bit different today. You're just going to take your feet a little bit wider, right? So that your pinky toes are lined up with the edges of your mat. So your feet are slightly wider than hip distance, right? And then we're going to lift into that halfway position. You're going to pull your shoulders even with your hips. Your back is flat. Crown of your head is towards the mirror. Now, all you're going to do here, take both sets of toes and just twist them over to the right? Let your chest follow and just fold over your right leg. So it's kind of like a little tiny pyramid. You should feel a stretch in your right hamstring. Right? Now, lift up halfway so you can sweep those toes back to center and then go the other way, right? You stay in that half lifted position so you can twist your toes over to the left, walk it around so you're just folded over your left leg. This little modified pyramid, feeling that stretch in the left hamstring. All right, come back up halfway, swing your toes back around to the front. This time, we're going to take a big reverse swan dive. You're keeping your feet wide, right? Just come all the way up to standing. Bring your arms overhead. All right, so we're here. Now, you're just going to lean to the right like you're just holding a small ball overhead, right? Lean that ball over to the right. Feel that left side body open. Little side bend. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale. Lean over to the left. Your right bicep right over your right ear. Come back to center here. Turn your palms forward. Drop your arms into cactus arms. It means you bend your elbows. Bring them even with your shoulders. Pull your shoulder blades together and then back bend just like this. Push your hips forward. Take your chest, your gaze up. Inhale, come up tall. Take your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, swan dive it all the way back down to your back in that forward fold. With the crown of your head, come towards the ground. Let your belly touch your upper thighs. You can put a little bend in your knees here if you need to. Now we're going to do all that again. Right now that you guys have seen it, just like our opening flow, we'll move a little faster. We'll move with our breath. So we start by lifting up into that halfway position. You turn both sets of toes to the right, and then as you exhale, let yourself drape over your right leg. Lift up to that halfway position again. Twist your toes back to the front, and then stay in that halfway position. Go the other way. Twist your toes to the left. Then let yourself fold over your left leg. Come back to center here. Sink all the way down into your fold, and then take a big reverse swan dive. Bring it all the way up. Hold your palms overhead, facing each other like you're holding a small ball. You lean to the right. Come back to center. Lean to the left. Come back to center. Bend into your elbows. Open up your chest. And then push your hips forward. Take your chest and gaze up. Come into your back bend. As you inhale, you stand tall. Your arms go back up overhead. And then exhale, swan dive it all the way down. Forward fold. All right, we're going to do that one more time through. So we take that half lift and then rotate your toes to the right. Fold into your modified pyramid. Take that half lift, rotate back to the center, stay in that half lift, Rotate to the left and then fold into your half pyramid this way. Lift up halfway again, bring everything back to center. And then as you inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up to standing. Hold the palms apart, lean to the right, come back to center, lean to the left, come back to center, drop into those cactus arms, take your back bend. Up tall here, reach your arms up overhead, and then bring it all the way back down into your forward fold. All right, now, as we come to our forward fold here, right, you're gonna keep your right foot forward. I'm gonna stand this way so you all can see me. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot way back behind you. So you're coming into your runner's lunge. You want your right knee right over your right ankle, left leg nice and long. Now, you're gonna bring both hands to the inside of your right foot, all right? So just feel that for a second. Look up and feel those hip flexors stretch. And then gently let your left knee come to the ground. If you need your blanket, put it there. Let your left foot flat. Right, so I've got both hands to the inside of my right foot. My left knee is dropped. Now we're going to come to a half pyramid here, keeping our hands to the inside. Right? So you're just going to push your right leg all the way straight here. Let your hands slide back. Let your right toes lift up off the mat. Both hands stay on the inside of that right leg. So it's just a little different than the half pyramid we usually do. The more you bring your left hip towards your left heel, the more you're going to feel it. All right, now we're going to walk it back here. Bend back into your right knee, right? And then what you're going to do from here, right? You're going to take that left foot, kick it over to the left, or sorry, to the right. Backwards. Your hands are going to stay low. You're going to walk around. Let your right leg straighten here, but let your right toes turn towards the long edge of your mat. So towards the left. Your right toes turns to the left, right leg stays long. So your right heel's kind of even with your left knee. Plant that left hand just outside your left knee, left shoulder right over the left wrist. Take your right hand up to the sky. So now you're here in this modified side plank, right? And then, if it feels okay, take your right hand, reach it up and over towards the left side of the room. There we go. Now, let your right hand come all the way down, and then you're going to walk low along the long edge of your mat, walk it back into runner's lunge at the front of the room. So you're putting that bend back into your right knee, right toes point forward again, you're back in that kneeling runner's lunge. All right, from here, plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the sky. So it's just a basic twist. Right, you're stacking your shoulders again, opening your chest. Now, as you're twisted, take your right toes and turn them to the right. Keep your left hand planted, but kind of drop your left hip and reach your right fingertips towards the back of the room. There we go. Now, turn those right toes back forward. Take your right hand around. Now, drop your right hand back down on the inside of your right foot. So both hands to the inside of the right foot. Now you're going to tuck your left toes under. Come up off your left knee. Drop your left heel here. Push both hands away from the mat. As you rise up, your right leg is going to straighten, so your hips turn towards the left side of the room. Take your hands up to the sky. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and pull back into your sky archer. So you're reaching towards the back of the room, right toes stay pointed to the front. All right, release your hands here. Bend back into your right knee. Turn your chest towards your right thigh, and then just lean forward. Reach your fingertips towards the mirrors, right? So we're just hovering right here over this right leg. You can lift your left heel up here if you want, so you're more of a crescent position, or you can keep it down in that warrior position if that's better for you. We're gonna rise all the way up here. Just bring your hands up to the sky. And then just like we did in the sun salutation, you're gonna drop them into cactus arms. Bend your elbows, open up your chest, and then lean back here. Take your chest and your gaze up. Keep bending into your right knee, keep that right knee over the right ankle. All right, rise back up here. Take your arms all the way up overhead. Bring your palms together, and then pull them to heart center. Once you get your hands to heart center, we're going to twist to the right here. Bring your left elbow over toward your right knee. Maybe you just get it near Y, right? Maybe it comes to the inside of the right knee. Maybe it's on top of the right knee. Maybe it's over the right knee. What you want to think about here is your thumbs still being at your heart center. You don't want your thumbs up toward your right shoulder, right? You want your chest to be facing the right side of the room. Now, wherever you are here, take your left fingertips and drop them down towards the ground. Take your right hand, reach it up to the sky. So you're still in that twist, you're just in an open twist. And then use your core here, lift up so that your left fingertips are reaching forward and your right fingertips are reaching towards the back of the room. So you're twisting. Still twisting to the right. There you go. That's how I'm doing it.
Can't even go that way.
I know. It's not like that, but.
Take your right hand, wrap it around behind your back. Take your left hand, reach it up to the sky, reach it over your right shoulder, and look over your right shoulder. You want this little ball reverse. There we go. Now everybody should have their left heel down. Now, if you don't have it down already, bring it down here. You're gonna cartwheel your hands around, your legs stay where they are. Now your left hand is gonna come along your left thigh, and your right fingertips are gonna reach towards the back of the room. So you're just in the basic reverse warrior, right? You can look up at your right fingertips, you can look back over your left shoulder. Once you have everything in place, bend just a little bit more deeply into that right leg. Right? So you've got that deep, deep bend still in your right leg. Now push your right leg all the way straight. Turn both sets of toes towards the left edge of your mat and reach your hands up to the sky. Come to a 5-pointed star. Just lengthen out. Make yourself as tall as you possibly can. Reaching your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Now turn your right toes back towards the front of the room. Bend back into your right knee and just take your arms into a strong T. Come to that warrior two. And sending that right knee towards the pinky toe side of the foot. If you guys can see yourselves in a mirror right now, if you could, right? Your left hand would be disappearing behind you because your shoulders are that stacked up. All right, now release your hands here. Bring them back behind you. And release them behind your back. Pull your shoulder blades together. Push those knuckles towards the floor. Look up for a second. Maybe take your chest up towards the sky. And then we're going to bow all the way forward, coming to humble warrior. So you're bringing your right shoulder towards the inside of your right knee. Maybe you can get it all the way inside. Maybe it just hovers above. That's okay. Right? Don't rest it on your right knee. That's the one thing I don't want you to do. But you're letting your head go here, so you're looking back at your left toes. Maybe you can start to lift your hands up and off your low back. If that doesn't happen, it's okay. Now from here, you're going to release your hands. They come on either side of your right foot. Look towards your right toes. You're going to keep that bend in your right knee. Right? Step your left foot forward so it's next to the right. So you're bending into that left knee and just peel yourself up into chair. Right? So you're bending your knees, sending your hips back and down. Your hands can be at heart center. Your hands can be reaching forward. Or your hands can be reaching to the sky, whatever feels good to you. Right? Make sure you can look down. You should be able to see your toes. Wiggle your toes. Weights all back in your heels. Your hips are far enough back that your knees aren't covering your toes. All right, on your next exhale, just straighten your legs, drop your hands to the mat, and come back to forward fold. Belly touching the thighs, crown the head towards the mat. All right, we're going to do all that again on the left side. First, take a half lift here, just to reset. Pull your shoulders even with your hips. And then as you exhale, let yourself fold back down. So this time, we're going to keep the left foot forward. You're going to step your right foot way back behind you. Come to your runner's lunge here. So left knee over left ankle, right leg nice and long. Bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Right, squeeze your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Just look up for a breath. Feel those hip flexors open. And then you're going to gently come down to your right knee. Flatten out your right foot. And then from there, keep your hands to the inside of your left foot. But let that left leg go all the way straight. Let your left toes flip off the mat. You can walk your hands back a little bit. Right? Bring yourself to the inside of your left thigh. So it's a little different than when we do this and we're draping right over the left thigh. You'll feel that stretch a little more out to the side of your hamstring. All right, now walk it all the way back forward here. Bend back into your left knee. Now you're going to kick those right toes over to the left, right? And then you're going to let your left leg straighten all the way. Walk your hands back past your left knee. Let your left toes rotate towards the right side of the room. Plant your right hand outside your right knee. So your right shoulder's right over your right wrist. So you should be one straight line, right wrist, right knee, left heel, right? Now your left hand doesn't have anything to do here. It's going to lift and open, come all the way into your modified side plank. Right, so you should be facing towards the right wall there. Now, if you can, take those left fingertips, reach them up and over. Bring that left bicep right over that left ear, keeping your chest up and open. And then let your left hand come all the way down. Now you're going to walk your hands back around past your right knee. Let your right toes turn back towards the back of the room. Bend back into your left knee. Let your left toes point towards the front of your mat. Bring your hands on either side of your left foot now. Now you're here in this kneeling runner's lunge. Plant your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Take your left hand up to the sky. So just in a basic twist here. Stacking your shoulders, opening your chest. Right. Now, you're staying in the twist. You're just going to take your left toes, turn them towards the left side of the room. Right. And then drop your right hip. Reach your left hand towards the back of the room. Think about which side we're on. Right. So you're kind of opening a little bit more, lowering. There we go. You look good. Now you're going to take that left hand, bring it back around. Let it come on the inside of your left foot. Turn your left toes all the way back towards the front of the room. Right, so now we're back with our hands on the inside of the left foot in that kneeling runner's lunge. You're going to tuck your right toes under here, come up off your right knee, drop your right heel, and then push away from the mat with both hands. Rise up, straighten out your left leg. Take your hands up to the sky, grab your left wrist with your right hand, pull back into Sky Archer. So you're opening up that whole left side body here. And then from Sky Archer, release your hands, turn your hips back towards the front of the room. Bend back into your left knee and just reach forward with both hands. Your palms face each other. Your thumbs are up to the sky. You can let that right heel lift here if you want to. You're in this lightning bolt. And then from lightning bolt, you're going to rise up. You're either here in crescent with your right heel lifted, or maybe you have that right heel down and you're up in warrior one. Either way, your hips are squared towards the front of your mat. Now, bend into your elbows. Open your chest, bring your elbows even with your shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades together. Keep that deep bend in your left knee, but maybe you take a little back bend here. Let your chest and your gaze go up to the ceiling. Come back up to your crescent or warrior one. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Take your hands all the way up to the sky. Bring your palms together. Pull into heart center. Now we're going to twist again to the left. So you're just bringing that right elbow towards the left knee. And again, if you want to let your right heel lift here, you can. If you want to keep it down, keep it down. Maybe you're hooking that right elbow all the way over the left knee, maybe it's the inside or on top. Just keep your thumbs in heart center. Now we're going to open up this twist here. So don't untwist, just drop your right fingertips towards the ground. Take your left hand up to the sky. Your fingertips don't have to touch the ground, as long as you can stay stable. Now we're going to rise up here. You're going to end up in an open arm twist. You're just lifting your upper body, reaching those right fingertips forward, taking that left hand back behind you. Take your left hand, now wrap it all the way around behind your back. Let your right fingertips lift up and over your left shoulder. So you're looking over your left shoulder. So got that deep bend in the left knee. Right from here, if you haven't already, drop your right heel. Cartwheel your arms around so that your right hand comes along your right thigh, and that left hand reaches up and over. So now we're here in reverse warrior. Still deep bend that left knee. Sending that left knee to the pinky toe side of the foot. You can wrap your hand around your back again. You keep it along your thigh. You look up at your left fingertips. You look back over your right shoulder, but keep bending into that left knee. Now from here, push your left leg all the way straight. Turn your left toes towards the right long edge of your mat. Take your hands up to the sky, so you're back in that five-pointed star. Just face the other wall. Lengthen out, reach your fingertips as high as you can. Make yourself as tall as you can. Then turn your left toes back towards the front of the room. Bend back into your left knee. Drop your arms into that T. We're back in warrior two. Right, still sending that left knee towards the pinky toe side of your foot. You don't want to cave in towards your body. That's really bad for your knee. Looking right over the middle finger on your left hand. Now, let your hands come down. They're going to come behind your back. Interlace them behind your back. Pull your shoulder blades together. Open your chest. Look up for a breath. And then we're going to bow all the way forward into our humble warrior, bringing that left shoulder towards the inside of the left knee. So looking back at your right toes, letting your neck go. You can lift your hands up and off your low back. Do that. If you gotta stay down, that's okay. And then release your hands. They're going to land on either side of your left foot. Right, you're keeping that bend in your left knee. Let your right heel lift. And then you're just going to step forward with that right foot. Your right knee's going to bend too, so you're in this little crouch. And then you just peel your chest up. Come to your chair. So your hands can be reaching forward. Hands can be at heart center. Hands can be up to the sky. Look down, see your toes, wiggle your toes. This is your second time through with this. Maybe you can sink just a little bit this time. Take one more deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, straighten your legs, drop your hands to the mat, come to forward fold. And this time as we get to forward fold, we toe our feet out wide, the edges of the mat, turn the heels in and the toes out, bend your knees, drop your hips, come down to your Vinyasa squat. All right, so I'm gonna full Vinyasa squat here. If you have a block, you can sit down on your block. That makes it better, right? If you don't have a block, or if you hate it with or without the block, right? Then your other option is to come down here to your glutes and bring the soles of your feet together and come into bound ankle, right? You decide where you're gonna be comfortable. So I want you to be comfortable here. Right? We're gonna take this time just to reconnect with our breath. So close your eyes. Make sure you still have your full focus on your breath. Make sure you still have full control of your breath. If you lost either of those things while we were flowing, this is your chance to get it back. Slow your breaths again, lengthen them again, deepen them again. All right, from here, we're all gonna make our way down to our belly. So we're gonna come all the way down to your belly. We'll do our core work starting from here. Start bringing it forward. So you're gonna lay flat on your belly. Reach your hands straight in front of you at first. Put your forehead on the mat. I'm not gonna keep my forehead on the mat because I'm gonna look up and talk. I'm not talking into the floor, but you should have your forehead on the mat. Everything stretched along here. Now we're gonna lift up into locust. You're gonna lift your forehead up, right? Keep the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Lift your hands up off the mat. Lift your chest as high as you can, right? Maybe your feet lift up off the mat. If this is too much for you, you can bring it to cactus arms and you look like this. That's what I usually do, because my back is not that strong. But that's what we're trying to do here. Strengthen it a little bit more. Right, so lift everything up that will come up. You want that nice deep back bend. Now, stay where you are. Just take your hands, sweep them back behind you. Turn your palms face up, so your thumbs are towards your thighs. Fingertips are reaching back. Really pull the shoulder blades together. Lift your chest even higher. And then from there, bend into your right knee. Bring your right heel towards your right glute. See if you can take that right hand and grab a hold of your right ankle. And then maybe you can bend into your left knee, bring your left heel towards your left glute, reach with your left hand to grab your left ankle. Now, if you can't get all the way into this full bow, which is what I'm doing right now, then you keep your left foot down for a minute and just come with your right leg. If you can't even reach your right ankle, you're just reaching that right hand back. All right. Take 2 breaths here. Now, if you just have that half bow, we're going to switch sides. Let your right leg come all the way down. Change it to your left leg. If you're in full bow, just hold it here. 4 more breaths. Now, release that left leg. Let your forehead come down to the mat. Right, let your hands fall to the mat. You want your palms face up. Maybe you take one ear or the other to the mat so you're looking to one side of the room. You might feel that little yoga flush, that blood rushing through your neck after we did that deep back bend. If you're feeling that, it's normal. Just lay here till it passes. All right, and then from here, you're gonna bring your hands right to your chest. I want you to push yourself up into a tabletop, right? So that's that hands and knees pose. You come with your shoulders right over your wrists and your hips right over your knees. All right, now we're gonna come into a pigeon position here, but we're not gonna come all the way into pigeon. I hope makes sense, right? We are eventually gonna get into pigeon. I promise you'll get to do it, but we're gonna take a moment here to do a little more core work. But you're gonna come into that position, you're gonna slide your right knee forward, to your right wrist. And then start to walk those right toes across the mat. So bring your right toes towards your left wrist. They're probably not going to get all the way there. They might still be pointed mostly towards the back of the room if that's what your knee allows for. It's okay, right? Tuck your left toes under. So you're picking up that left knee, starting to move that left knee back. What you want is for your left hip to drop towards your right heel. So you're slinking back, right? Now, you're up on your palms here. Really push yourself up high. You want to come to these little cupcake hands, right? That just means you're going to be on your fingertips. Take your right hand outside your right knee. Take your left hand outside your right foot. Right, so you look like this. And then we're just going to do 3 pigeon push-ups. That means you're going to bend into your elbows. Let your chest come all the way down. If you can bring your head to the ground, do it. If you only get halfway or a quarter way down, that's okay, right? And then press into your fingertips, straighten your arms, lift yourself back up. All right, just do that 2 more times. Drop it down. Bring it back up. Drop it down. Bring it back up. Now this time as you come all the way back up, now you're just going to take your hands so that your hands are inside your right shin, so that your hands are between your right ankle and your right knee, and then you get to go into full pigeon. So maybe that means you stay right here. Maybe you drop down to your elbows. Maybe you take it all the way down so your chest and head come to the mat. If this feels like a lot for you, you can always turn it in to a deer. In deer, you let your right hip come down to the ground. You bend into your left knee, pull that left knee against the sole of the right foot, and then move your hands again inside your right shin and hold over your right shin like that. But that's an option if it feels like too much sensation in your pigeon. Take 4 more breaths here. When you're ready, bring it back up to your palms from wherever you are, right? And we're gonna start to make our way back into tabletop. Tuck those left toes under, start to move that left knee forward, slide that right knee back, bring it back into your tabletop. Once you're back in tabletop, move your right leg around a little bit. Maybe you wanna extend it long behind you, opening up that knee and that hip. Maybe you wanna make some fire hydrant circles with that right knee. Just make sure you get that blood flow going back into the right knee. Then when you're ready, drop it back down into tabletop. Let's try that on the other side. All right, so you're gonna take your left knee, slide it all the way forward to your left wrist. Start to walk those left toes over towards your right wrist. And again, if they don't come all that much across, it's okay. You might have those left toes pointed mostly towards the back of the room. You're gonna tuck your right toes under. Move that right knee back. You wanna drop your right hip here towards your left heel as much as you can. Again, it might not be all the way, and that's all right. Then flatten your left foot, push yourself up, and then start to make those little cupcake hands. Move your left hand outside your left knee as much as you can, right hand outside the left foot, right? Push yourself all the way up, and then let yourself lower all the way down. Bring your head towards the ground. If it touches the ground, great. If you only get halfway or a quarter of the way, that's fine. Push into those fingertips, lift back up, open up. Do it twice more. Dip down. Open up. Down, open up, and then as you come all the way up here, now you're going to move your hands back inside that left shin, and now you're going to let yourself come all the way down into your pigeon. Maybe this is pigeon for you, right? Maybe you dropped your elbows here, maybe you bring it all the way down to your chest and head. If you need deer, let that left hip come all the way to the ground, and then bend into your right knee, bring that right knee against the sole of the left foot, and fold over your left shin from there. Ready here, bring it back up to your palms, and then you're gonna make your your way back into tabletop. Right. Once you're back in tabletop, move that left leg around a little bit. Maybe extend it long behind you, toes to the ground, pushing your heel towards the back wall, opening your calf and getting that blood flow back in the knee. Maybe you want to make some fire hydrant circles. Anything else you want to do. Get that blood flow back in the left leg. Now from here, right, once you're feeling good again, drop back into tabletop. You're just going to let your hips come to one side or the other. And then bring your legs around in front of you. All right, so we're coming into this hook line position. So it looks like this. Your knees are up to the sky, your feet are on the ground. You're going to take your hands back behind you. Right? You can have your fingertips pointed towards your glutes. You can turn your hands out to the sides, or you can turn your hands all the way so your fingertips are pointed behind the glutes. It doesn't matter here, whatever's comfortable to you. But let your hands take a little bit of your body weight. Move your feet again out wide so that your toes are at the edges of your mat. We're just going to windshield wipe here. Let both knees fall over to the right. Bring them back to center. Drop them over to the left. And just go back and forth here a couple times. Eventually, we're going to come to a stop. As we come to a stop here, now you're going to extend your legs all the way out in front of you. I'm trying to scoot some all the way in camera, right? Really flex your feet so your toes are coming back towards your face. And then you're going to push your hands away from the mat. Take both hands up to the sky. I want you to lengthen your spine as much as you possibly can, right? So make yourself nice and tall here. Turn your palms towards the front of the room. And then we're just going to fold forward over the thighs. Now you're trying to keep your biceps by your ears as much as you can. Leaning forward, keeping your back nice and flat. When your biceps absolutely aren't going to stay by your ears anymore, right? Let your hands come all the way down. They might land on your feet. They might land on your ankle, your shin, your knee. Wherever they do, it's okay, right? Maybe you take them to the mat on either side of your leg. It's okay. But we're going to use our breath now to get a little bit deeper into the pose. So as you inhale, lift your chest slightly. Think about lengthening your spine again. And then as you exhale, see if you can fold a little bit deeper. Your hands walk a little bit further forward. Right? So you're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold deeper. That helps us get that extra millimeter into the pose, maybe more, right, than your body naturally wanted to go. And that's what we're going for here, right? When we do this pose, if you try to take it too much further than your body naturally wanted to go, you're going to do more harm than good. We don't want that. But if you never try to take it any further than your body naturally wanted to go, you're not going to see any change in your flexibility. And we want that, right? We want to see that change. So we got to work with those millimeters here. Once you found your edge, your place, right? Just stay here for 3 more breaths. Now when you're ready, slowly peel yourself back up. Bend into your knees, bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Right, you're going to take your toes all the way to the top of your mat here, and we're going to round our way back down to our backs like we did earlier, right? Take your arms out long, tuck your chin to your chest, let yourself round down all the way to your leg on your back. Take your hands to your sides, palms face down, and then walk your heels in closer to your glutes, as close as you can get them. Maybe you're getting close enough that your fingertips brush the back of your heels. If you don't get that close, it's okay, right? But you're going to press into all 4 corners of both feet. Lift your hips up off the mat. So you're on this nice, gentle bridge. Now you can make this a supported bridge if you want to. You can take a block and slide it under your hips. Let your hips rest on the block. I don't have a block here with me, or I would do it, right? But you can stay unsupported too. Either way, whether you're supported or unsupported, you want to tuck your shoulders at least slightly under your chest so your chest puffs open, right? If you're unsupported and you want to make this really deep, you work one entire shoulder and the other underneath your body. Clasp your hands underneath your body. That pushes your hips even higher. Right? It's just an option, you don't have to, right? But it pushes your hips higher. And that's what we really want here to increase the flexibility of the back. The higher the hips go, the more we increase the flexibility of the back. So if you're unsupported, right, you're doing it with the strength in your legs. You've got to engage your quads, engage your glutes, Engage your hamstrings, make those legs work for you to lift those up higher, so increase the flexibility of the back. If you've got a block under there, using the leverage of the block to push your hips higher, increase the flexibility of your back. Okay, wherever you are, let's take 3 more breaths. Now, if you're in that unsupported bridge, right, you're just going to let your hips float back down to the mat. If you're in supported bridge and your hips are on the block, and maybe you want to keep them there for waterfall, right? If you're in unsupported and you want to add a block under your hips for waterfall, you can. In waterfall, whether we have a block under our hips or not, we take our feet straight up to the sky. You're going to flex your feet like you're going to step on the ceiling. Right? If you have that block under your hips, it just makes it slightly more intense because you've elevated your hips slightly. But you don't have to, right? This is a perfectly good waterfall. My head and shoulders all flat on the ground. I'm sending the blood from the feet where it pools all day back to my head and my heart where we need it more. That's the point of this pose. Now, your other option, if you want to make this more intense, is to take it to shoulder stand. That's where you lift your hips up on your own. Put your hands in the small of your back so you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Right? Shoulder stand's not for everybody, but if it's in your practice and you like it, you should go there now. Right? If you're in shoulder stand, make sure your elbows are pointed totally towards the front of the room. You want to take that body weight into your shoulder girdle, not into your elbow joints. If you're in shoulder stand, your feet are kind of half flexed, half pointed, right? Like you're about to slip them into a pair of high heels. Now, if you're staying in waterfall, it's fine. Your feet stay fully flexed, like they're going to go, like you're going to step on the ceiling. In addition to that increased circulation I talked about, we're also all naturally lowering our blood pressure. We're flooding the body with all sorts of anti-aging, anti-stress hormones. Right? Lots of good things happen when we get a little bit upside down. That's what we're going to do at least once each class. So whichever version of the inversion you're in, we'll take 3 more breaths. And then when we're ready to come out of it, we're all going to come out of it the same way. You're going to bend your knees, let them scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop those feet back down to the mat. As your feet come back down to the mat here, still have a block under your hips. You're going to lift your hips up, slide that block out from underneath you. Everybody's hips are going to be flat on the ground. All right, we're going to come into Happy Baby from here. In Happy Baby, our feet go up to the sky again. Right? But this time, we separate them. Maybe slightly, maybe a lot, that's up to you. You're going to bend your knees again. Maybe it's a slight bend, maybe it's a big bend. Maybe you keep them perfectly straight, that's up to you. But you're going to reach up with your same hand for your same foot. If you can't grab your foot, grab your ankle or your shin or your knee, wherever you make that connection, it's good. Once you've made it though, you're going to roll forward slightly. Because you really want to feel that sacrum, the low part of your back, press into the mat. Once that sacrum's pressing into the mat, then we rock from side to side, giving ourselves a little spinal massage. And it should feel good as you do the rock. If it doesn't, right, maybe you just stay still. That's fine too. Maybe now that you're in the pose, you want to change your leg position. Your legs come wider or straighter, or bend more, or come in more, right? Find somewhere to be here where this just feels really delicious to you. Hang out there for another couple breaths. Eventually, you're going to take your knees, hug them all the way into your chest, and we're going to do one final twist here. So just like we did in our opening flow, you're going to take your arms out long in that T position, palms face down. Let both knees fall over to the right as your chin and gaze go to the left. So you're just stacking your left knee right on top of your right. If you want to make this deeper, you can take your right hand, press those knees closer to the earth, right? Or if you have enough space, maybe you extend your legs so your toes go towards your right fingertips. Maybe you just stay where you are. You just want to keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. On your next inhale here, you're going to pull your knees back up to center. And then as you exhale, now drop your knees to the left. Take your chin, your gaze to the right. So same thing here. Deepen it if you want by pressing down on the knees with the left hand, or extending the toes, extending the legs so the toes go towards the left fingertips, or just stay where you are. Keep that right shoulder anchored. We always finish off with this twist because it seals up our practice. Lets our bodies remember everything we did today. So next time we come practice yoga, it's all a little easier. Go everywhere a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And we'll start to set up for our final pose, our Shavasana. Right? Let your legs extend long. Take your hands to your sides. This is your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. If this isn't comfortable to you, don't stay here. Right? You can always bend your knees, let them fall in against each other. That takes pressure off the low back. Right? Maybe you butterfly your legs. We did the opening flow, right? A little bound ankle position. Opening up the hips. Maybe you need to roll to your side, roll to your belly. Maybe you need to sit up. Just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still, and where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. Right? If you're in the studio, come around and spray your towel with a little sea salt spray. Put it over your eyes. If you're at home, if you have a towel, or anything to put over your eyes, do that. If you don't have anything, just close your eyes. Just want to get to place. Thank you. Where you can find that quiet of mind. Your breath can always take you there if you let it, right? Don't try to control your breath anymore. Let it go, let it do what it wants to do. Keep your full focus there. Keep noticing your breath, keep observing your breath. In that way, you release control of the breath, but keep that complete focus. Your breath can begin to guide you, and it will take you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. When you get there, that's your true quiet of the mind. Now slowly Start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling the increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead, do a nice full deep body stretch. And then from there, just let yourself roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights, the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here, but when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated and we will close here. Right. So we're going to close just with 2 Bhamari breaths and then an Om. The Bhamari breath, we inhale, as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. The Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throats. You can join me in these breaths, so you can just listen. Let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for joining me, sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right. Now, Dawn will be here tomorrow morning to do some Payo, so come join her for that. And if you need more gentle, Heidi will be here tomorrow night to do another gentle class, so you can see her for that. I'll be here Wednesday night, back on Yin this week on Wednesday night, and special treat, I'm here Friday morning to do a little Pilates while Isaac continues to recover, so come join me Friday morning if you can. But I will see you guys Wednesday. Hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.